Wow, looks like Persona 4 Remake might be in the works. Certainly very late to making a video about this, but the website p4re.jp was registered as a website domain according to our trusted Fazkun. And as you can see here in the tweet, it said that 3 months later after p3re.jp was registered, Persona 3 Reload was announced. So in some months time, a remake for Persona 4 might be announced. Will it be Persona 4 Replay as the title? Who knows? It's going to be Persona 4 Re something for sure, as it needs to be synonymous with remaking or redoing the game again. Now with this leak, it begs the question, will this affect LeBron's legacy? Will this be a necessary remake for Atlus to make? My honest thoughts is that remaking Persona 4 might be a waste of time. Yes, I'll be honest with you guys, it's not that I think it will be a necessary remake for Atlus to do, it's just that I don't really care whatever games that will come up from Atlus later on. I know people have been begging on their knees, hoping that Atlus will bestow them with their golden shower, that is to reveal some kind of information for Persona 6, but I don't think we will get any of that information soon. It's not that I'm not hopeful that Atlus would actually make a Persona 6 game, it's just that I'm a fan of Skyrim and Football Manager. What correlation does that have with being hopeful for a new Persona game, you ask? Well, Mr. Todd Howard himself, the director of Bethesda Studios who made Skyrim, revealed a small teaser for a new Elder Scrolls game at like E3 2018, and since then there was no any information available about the game for the next 7 years. In fact, the gap between the release of Skyrim that was released in 2011 to the small teaser of Elder Scrolls 6 is 7 years. And the gap between today and the Elder Scrolls 6 teaser is 7 years as well. So imagine 14 years without any new info or Elder Scrolls game from Bethesda Studios, and me being a Skyrim fan. For Football Manager, there was supposed to be a Football Manager 25 that released at this very moment, but guess what? No game, no show, and they decided to skip Football Manager 25. So it's just that I have a lot of experience when it comes to games not being announced or released for a very long time. So I think this new remake is probably good enough for me so that I can experience Persona 4 with updated gameplay, graphics, features, and things like that, and I get to play something else too. The leaks of the Persona 4 remake is putting the Persona community in a frenzy, and there are a lot of divisive opinions on this one single leak. Firstly, a lot of Persona fans are so starved and are on their knees begging for a new Persona game for a long time. I don't know why. Persona 3 Reload and Metaphor ReFantazio literally came out last year. Those games are really good. Unless you are pretty frugal with your money, that's fine, but don't complain like there isn't anything to play. It's not like Atlus hasn't been releasing anything in the last decade. I know that maybe something like Persona 3 Reload doesn't count as a new Persona game, but there's at least Metaphor, which isn't a Persona game, but if you like Persona, no doubt that you will love Metaphor. You could also play like other games too, you know? Anyways, I'm not really on either side where Persona 4 needs a remake or Atlus should have made Persona 6 first. To me, it's actually quite amazing that they managed to release Persona 3 Reload and Metaphor in the same year, and not too long after Metaphor, a Persona 4 remake was leaked. So I'm just here happy with whatever that's coming from Atlus, because I know that the quality of whatever the next major game release is guaranteed. I think people are worrying about the wrong thing. It's not whether we need a Persona 4 remake or not, it's whether the game is going to be good. That's what I'm mostly worried about. Will the game adhere to the actual story of Persona 4 and not make any unwanted changes? Will the game look and play good? Will there be new features and tweaks that are not present from the original Persona 4 Golden? I feel like it's a lot better to have those kinds of worries instead of if we need a new remake. No matter what happens, Persona 6 will come out later. There is no need to worry if there will be a Persona 6 or not, because Atlus will release Persona 6. Whether it be 5 or 10 years from now, Persona 6 will definitely come out. So if you are worried since there is a Persona 4 remake coming soon and that there won't be a Persona 6, don't be. Persona 6 will obviously come sooner or later. Look, the gap between Persona 4 Golden to Persona 5 is 4 years. The gap between Persona 5 Royal to Persona 3 Reload is 5 years. And the fact that not too long after Metaphor and Persona 3 Reload, we might potentially get a Persona 4 remake is actually insane on how good we must be eating. Well, I'll predict that if they're actually remaking Persona 4, it'll be at least 1 or 2 more years until the game is released, so I wouldn't really put all hopes into playing the game anytime sooner. I actually still have small doubts about this whole thing because I'm not one to really believe and trust leaks. I'd rather wait for anything official from Atlus because I don't want to speculate too much and like really wait for a game that is yet to be announced officially. Even though I don't want to put too much hope into the leaks, I do want some things from the Persona 4 remake. I think it's fair to say that we all have a high high expectation of Persona 4 Remake or just any Atlus games because of their track record. It's not crazy to say that their mainline games are pretty high quality. Firstly, I would like for the game to add features like how Persona Reload did with like Thurgy, dorm interactions, character hangout episode, etc. Obviously, when the game is planned to be remade or remastered, it's a no-brainer to start adding things that will make the quality of the game much better rather than just improving upon the graphics. Well, the game will have improved character models and maybe will have improved character sprites, of course, but I hope that it'll have more features as well. Secondly is to not stray at all from the original story. A lot of people said that the story for Persona 3 Reload was tweaked and changed a certain amount, which strayed from the original game. Like for example, the joke Junpei made when they met that weird crazy lady on that island. In the original Persona 3, it was like a joke that the lady was actually a man and Junpei panicked because he thought that the lady was a lady and not a man. That joke was probably the most tame joke I've ever heard, and they removed it completely in Persona 3 Reload. Not only that, there are a lot of lines that were changed from the characters and it kind of misrepresented their original personalities. I don't know how much did they change from the game that was very significant because I have never completed the original. But if Persona 4 were to have the remake, hopefully the story and the characters doesn't change much. Especially in Persona 4 where they tackle issues that are big in the modern age. I just hope that they stay true to the original game and do not change anything from it. Lastly, I hope that they won't change Adachi's unhinged sprite. Just imagine that all of the character sprites got changed and improved except for Adachi's. That would be so funny and it would definitely make it easier to find who's the real culprit in the game. And that's about it. I don't really have much thoughts about the remake and the leaks. I'm just perfectly fine with the Persona 4 remake, even if a lot of people would prefer it to be something else. I just really hope that the game will be good, and I hope that it will take too long for it to be released, considering that it was literally leaked not after a full year of Persona 3 Reload being released. Also, sorry that this was kind of a short video. This whole week has been hectic, especially this weekend. A lot of stuff was going on and I really didn't have much to say about this leak. That is all. I'll see ya.